Hello, nerds. We are doing another batch of reaction videos, and I'm back to this camera just because the other camera takes a lot more time to set up. I still am working, even in the middle of all of the coronavirus nonsense. So, that being said, what video are we doing? I think we're doing the Tom MacDonald video first. You know, because you clicked on the thumbnail. I'm just haven't officially made the decision yet. So apparently, we're doing Tom MacDonald. There might be two. We're doing the coronavirus first. That video. So let's hit this intro real quick. Okay, so I'm checking. Yes, there are two Tom MacDonald videos, but like I said, we are doing the coronavirus one first. So get that open. Whoa. I have yet again with all of my reaction videos, I have not watched or listened to the song since that's what we're reacting to. I haven't watched the video or anything like that. So we're going to jump right into it. And I try to do analysis when I'm doing it as well. Let's get going.
I don't know what to think about this virus. Started in China, now everybody in America's hiding. There's no groceries cause people start to panic and buy it. The shelves are empty, the ones with plenty already stockpiling. Y'all making memes, think it's funny? Wait a week till the riots. Wait a month till the only way to eat is be violent. It's not the sickness that's scary, it's all the people who wildin'. The government lying, they trying to keep us calm through the sirens. You know it's for real. And all the pharmaceutical giants don't have a cure that they can sell you, so now everyone's dying. There's no vaccines or medication made that can fight it. I guess it's time to pray to God we can't rely on the science. And everyone around me in a mask and some gloves. The stock market crashed and the bank's about to bust.
I don't know about that. All right, hold up. There, I like the beats. The beat's nice. Let's listen to the beat first.
I don't know what to think about this virus. Started in China, now everybody in America's hiding. There's no groceries cause people start to panic and buy it. The shelves are
That's, I mean, legit. There are no. Well, that's not entirely true. I had a customer come in yesterday who said that he went to Walmart and they were almost entirely stocked. We went to a different grocery store. I say we. My girlfriend went to a different grocery store and they were pretty much entirely stocked as well. So, like, it's getting better. Though this video did come out like 4 or 5 days ago, so or 3 or 4 days ago rather. So 3 or 4 days ago probably was a different story.
empty, the ones with plenty already stockpiling. Y'all making memes, think it's funny? Wait a week till the riots. Wait a month till the only way to eat is be violent.
Now that's just a little excessive. I don't think that's going to be the case necessarily. It's I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know.
Government lying, they trying to keep us calm through the sirens. You know it's for real. And all the pharmaceutical giants don't have a cure that they can sell you, so now everyone's dying. There's no vaccines or medication made that can fight it.
That's true. There are no vaccines yet.
And everyone around me in a mask and some gloves. The stock market crashed and the bank's about to bust. Tell us sanitize our hands, this will pass. It's a bug, stay inside, you'll be fine till we're trapped there for months. It's a ghost town, we're in this together. They're closing all the stores down, we're heading for shelter. It's all war now, they'll always remember. When locking all our doors down, we're sticking together.
That program snare is gonna drive me a little crazy. It's just too thin.
This a pandemic. But we don't listen to the news because they lied to us for years, so how we know that this the truth? And most of us are
That's 100% legit. If the news is telling it to us, we're always apprehensive anymore because they're full of shit.
young enough to think that we're immune, so we just pass it on to people who won't survive it like you. It's either worse than they're telling us or it's not.
Also, another legit. That's the all of the kids doing the spring break stuff are all of that mindset.
Nothing at all, but the school shut down, a ghost town in the mall.
Yeah.
Quarantine the city, block the road out of Dodge, then tell us leaving our homes is actually breaking the law. This is just
He's in California, so I do believe they are under some sort of quarantine laws right now, which would, that would be if you're leaving your house under quarantine. Though from what I've seen, and I don't live in California, so I don't know for certain, and I pay very little attention to things that happen in California aside from when they pass the new gig standard law where you can't pay gig employees, you have to bring them on as full employees, that kind of stuff, because that kind of legislation gets threatened to be passed across the country, so then you have to pay attention to it. But again, kind of bird walking to say, from what I've seen, you can leave your house in the state of California. You just can't go to work. You can leave your house for exercise purposes, and if you are a food employee, then you can go to work for that. You can make food and deliver food. Those are two things that you can do in the state of California. Again, as far as I'm understanding things. So it's a little over the top, but it's a hip-hop song, so whatever.
You know it's gotta get worse. If the doctors get sick, the hospitals won't work. The conspiracy theories all sound like facts, that's for sure. But the fact is, we're trapped on this planet called Earth. And the bleach gone, the bread gone, the water sold out, the meat gone, the milk gone, the pasta sold out. Don't leave anything for anyone.
All right. So aside from the words that he's saying, the rhyme scheme there was really nice.
That's for sure. But the fact is, we're trapped on this planet called Earth.
And then the
bleach
instrumental
gone, the bread
cuts.
gone, the water sold out, the meat gone, the milk gone, the pasta.
I like that.
Theories all sound like facts, that's for sure. But the fact is, we're trapped on this planet called Earth. And the bleach gone, the bread gone, the water sold out, the meat gone, the milk gone, the pasta sold out. Don't leave anything for anyone. You hoard it for yourself. You'd rather tell them go to hell than be a man and go in hell. It's a ghost town, we're in this together.
That's intense.
They're closing all the stores down. We're heading for shelter. It's all war now. They'll always remember. We're locking all our doors down. We're sticking together. We're hoping for the best, but we're preparing for the worst. There's one thing we're not scared of, is hard work. We're up against an enemy that doesn't have a face. There's no bombs we can drop, there's nowhere we can aim. There's no soldiers to stop with a tank at the gates. There's no cure that we've got or a pill we can take. There's no food, it's been bought. The truth is, we're afraid. We sit inside our rooms and we pray. It's a ghost town, we're in this together. They're closing all the stores down. We're heading for shelter. It's all war now, they'll always remember. We're locking all our doors down. We're sticking together. It's all ghost town.
Yeah, I mean, I can get behind it. It's a little over the top again, but it's dramatic for purpose. Let's go. We're just gonna do both Tom MacDonald videos. How about that? Let's go do the other one now. I don't care. 2 days ago was the coronavirus video.
Honestly, I'm sick to death of hearing the complaints. Everybody wants to tell me how I've changed. I think somehow I'm responsible for bodies filling graves. If I made the songs they wanted, were they fans I could have saved? Man, that's a lot of weight. I thought it would be great to entertain, and now I understand.
So this is another one of his where he starts off super serious at the beginning and then is like, haha, fuck you.
Mumble rappers say the things they say. They don't want any obligation to the fan base they create. I guess my morals won't allow me to be famous. If it's fake, I barely made it. I was living in
Or
it.
not.
Always praying my potential wouldn't go to waste before I could escape it. I just had a mental breakdown. Rent was due. I couldn't pay it. Killing roaches, scraping guts off all the plates and being patient. Ay, living in the hood, could've got me killed. Kitchen full of rats, stomach never filled. They cut off the lights, couldn't pay the bills. I was always sick, couldn't buy the pills. Girlfriend almost left me, we were broken, we were desperate. Right before it got too heavy, I went viral off a record. Ay. Never signed a deal, I did it on my own. I made all the beats, I write every song. They did not believe I knew it all along. Told me I was weak, I showed them I was strong. Never should have bet against me.
I don't get the title with the lyrics. That doesn't.
Everybody says I changed up, 'cause I had nothing and I came up. Now
His girlfriend does all of his videos too, and I feel like she has a over reliance on slow-mo. But her framing is really good. Like, she's very mindful of what is in the frame.
honestly, it's bothered me since I've become this fan.
I just talked over the chorus too.
Everybody says I changed up, 'cause I had nothing and I came up. Now I'm someone they're afraid of. So say some, whoa, hey yo, everything you say, bro, I don't care, no, I don't care, bro.
Okay, I guess I get it.
Make me change, so I don't care, no, I don't care, no. Honestly, it's bothered me since I've become this famous. People comment like I don't see what they're saying. I get death threats every day, and so my family call me garbage, call me racist. Try to tell my therapist that I'm afraid I can't explain it. Back up, don't touch me, I'm anxious. All of this money I'm banking don't make me happy. I can't win, don't get it wrong. No, I'm thankful, wanted attention. It happened, pressure from standards established.
He's got Kurt Cobainitis. He's more famous than he wants to be, but he doesn't want to stop what he's doing. To some, that seems disingenuous, but I don't know. I still dig the tunes, so I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Amplify anger and sadness, can't deny that it did damage. Hey, take the bucks I made, take off all the chains, take the braids out of my hair, laser the tattoos off my face. Stop comparing me to Hops and Token and FNM. I think they're great, but so am I, and I don't wanna be them. And I never change, but I'm not the same. I'm not the person that I was once. Alcoholic, always calling mama, always trying to borrow 50 bucks. Hey, I put my parents in debt. I have embarrassed my friends. I didn't care if I died. I was honestly hopeful that I wouldn't wake up again. But I'm back now. Knock me down to that mat, but now I stand proud. Last round, believe me, I'm ready to scrap until they back down. Doctor gave me pills, told me I was sad. Never took them though, threw them in the trash. Made a couple mil, money doesn't last. Trying to smile a bit, living in the past. Everybody says I changed up.
That's heavy. That's so. He's been super upfront with his mental issues and the fact that he sees a therapist and so on and so forth. And doctor gave me pills, never took one.
Doctor gave me pills, told me I was sad. Never took them though, threw them in the trash. Made a couple mil, money doesn't last. Trying to smile a bit, living in the past.
Trying to smile a bit. That's heavy stuff, man.
Everybody says I changed up, 'cause I had nothing and I came up.
I really wonder what he does when he's producing the beat. Is he have a chorus in mind? Does he have like a lyric that he's building the beat around? And then like, how much music theory does he really know? I mean, because it's really basic production. There's nothing beyond like a pretty simple verse chorus kind of structure, and then as far as the music goes, he doesn't really go outside of the 1-4-5 super basic like pop chord progressions. But still, like, it's still effective.
I wish you the best. Of course I changed. I had to go and buy a bulletproof vest. Cause I've been stressed, yeah. I'm a mess, yeah. I need rest, yeah. Wasting energy on enemies I never met, yeah. I need meds, yeah. I need bed, yeah. What the heck? I should send a text to see if I still have some friends, yeah. Now that I'm healthy and nobody helped me, I wanna get every penny independent. I'm a menace, I'm a wreck it. On my records got a message, I'ma spread it. And I'm still the person my mama nurtured to become this version. So shout out mom. I don't ever sleep. Every night is long. Everything is on me, Tom. Everybody says I changed up, 'cause I had nothing and I came up.
Video production note. This is it. She chose Golden Hour to film, and it looks like they ran a little long because here the sun is almost over that mountain, and then this shot That's dramatic. But then this shot right here is like, I'm pretty sure she cranked the ISO on that. Because we're at sunset, the sun is almost gone there, and then we cut back to the beginning of the shoot, and right there, we're back to the beginning of the shoot. That's a little distracting. Like, if you're looking at this from a production standpoint, like, that is visually distracting. It becomes it takes away, it detracts from the message of the song, which is pretty freaking heavy, man. You've got 3 different times a day there. You've got evening, a borderline night, then the beginning of the shoot, and then we're back into almost late evening, I would say, and then we're into early evening, and then we're back into that's probably like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because the sun is where it is, and it's just going back and forth is like that. So a better narrative device, let's do it this way. A better narrative device visually would have been if she shot sequentially. So you shoot a verse at each time that you're shooting, right? So you start right before golden hour, so right about 3-4 o'clock, and then you get the beginning of the song, and the first, maybe you do one chorus, and then you do a verse or two that you're filming, and then you do the second chorus as the sun has changed positions in the sky, and then you have a progression that goes with the progression of the song, instead of cutting back and forth and all of this like very whiplash kind of feeling stuff because of the different lighting situations. Or get a light and do everything at dusk after golden hour, so and use that light, and then you have all night to do your extra coverage. You start a little bit later so that you have that little bit of dramatic lighting at the beginning of the shoot, get everything that needs that dramatic lighting, and then just do everything after dark with a proper professional lighting setup. I mean, he keeps talking about how much money he's got. I'm pretty sure they can afford an $800 light. I can't even think of the brand I'm trying to think of right now. But yeah, like like I said, she does really well with her frame and what's in her frame and where Tom is, and like the setting, the backdrop is very dramatic and so very fitting for the lyrics, but the lighting, I feel like could have done much more to emphasize the message in the song, and not have been distracting. But I'm also a nerd about things like that, and maybe most people don't notice that kind of stuff. I don't know. That's just where so again, and then back into the audio production of this. I don't even feel like this is 1.45. I mean, I would have to go back through and listen for a little bit longer than we're going to do in the video. But I feel like he's just going between the 1 and the 5 on this one. There's not a whole lot of movement, which again, in music that is as serious and intense as the stuff that Tom does, like it kind of makes sense that he keeps it pretty simple on the production side for the tune, because if you've got like the jazzy kind of sound and stuff that, like, let's say Mac Miller does. I know Mac does some heavy stuff as well, but really a lot of the reason, at least I listen to Mac Miller, is because the instrumentation is so well done. And then the kind of the lyrics in some instances are almost secondary. Whereas Tom's message is his words. I would imagine he doesn't have an education in music theory. I don't know if Mac Miller did either, but he surrounded himself with producers who really did. But Tom does everything himself. So uh, in order to emphasize the message, he keeps the instrumentation. It makes sense to keep the instrumentation more simple. Um, and so, like, it's effective. It works for what he's doing, obviously, because we keep doing these dang videos.
Bro, fame won't ever make me change, so I don't care. No, I don't care. No.
I mean, so when he does those melodic lines, though, he's working in the other notes inside of the chord, the underlying chord that he's playing with the instrumentation. So he at least has a basic 1-3-5 knowledge of chord structures. I don't know. It's he's a little bit. Eventually, I will figure out his process through doing these videos. I will figure out exactly what he knows and how he applies it. That's kind of the reason why I'm doing all of his videos, is because I'm really intrigued by hip hop production, especially someone like Tom who does everything himself. Because I would really love to get to a point, not necessarily because I want to start rhyming, but I would really love to get to a point where I understand hip hop beat production and the effectiveness and so I can start doing maybe not necessarily hip hop production, but production that is as effective as something that he does, or some production that doesn't require a whole band. Because right now everything I do kind of requires I need someone to play the drums, because I can program basic drums at this point. I can't do the really intricate stuff that I write guitar tracks to. So if I can understand a more basic form of music like this, I feel like it will be more beneficial to myself. Again, this is why we do these videos. Oh, and that's the end of it. So yeah, there we go. I kind of waited to the end to do all of the analysis and rambling, but that is where we're gonna end it, though, guys. What did you think? Ooh, that is a big. We're gonna just go over to it. What did you think of the video? What did you think of the two songs that we talked about in this video? And my analysis and where I kind of stand on things. Where do you stand on all of this stuff? Click one of these two boxes for all of the other stuff. Well, some of the other stuff going on the channel. There is a lot more that's hopefully, assuming we can get out of our houses, hopefully going to be going on the channel in the not too distant future. But you can check these boxes for stuff that is going on the channel. And don't forget, there is a website, generallynerdy.net. There is a Patreon, patreon.com/generallynerdy. You can go support the channel there, get more content up on the Patreon. Let me know what you think by dropping a like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But before we go, guys, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.